You'll notice that I've got that servo in there with the control horn section and the wire itself, the servo wire facing forward. That gives you a little more push rod to work with. Let's go ahead and put that elevator servo in there. Now the elevator servo, you can see that they share a center mount. Space is so limited in this aircraft that we're going to go ahead and share that center mount. And let's go ahead and put that elevator servo in there. Of course, being very careful with the push rods. All right, let's pull those push rods over. Pop her right into place. Situate those servo wires. And they're installed. Simple as that. And that's what they look like. You've got the rudder in front, elevator in back. Now what we're going to do is we're going to install those Z-bends on the horns. Let's do the elevator servo first. As you can see, I've centered the servo. I've put the Z-bend in the servo horn. You can see the push rod is right up next to it. I'm going to mark the push rod and trim it. So the push rod can be shortened to right about there. We'll take this off, set it aside, and then we're going to trim that push rod carefully. Okay, now we have the push rod out of the way. We're going to put this back on. We're going to use a little CA glue. Put it on that push rod. Just a little bit, not too much, and then we're going to secure it together. Now when that is tacked on there real good, I'll pop the servo arm off the servo and I'll remove it from that assembly and I'll thread it up like we showed. Well, this is an upside down view, but if you look closely, you'll see the push rod is just tacked down to the Z-bend, and all we have to do now is wrap it with thread and secure it, and you'll know you have the perfect connection. Let's do that. Take the thread, and I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but just like we did earlier, grab the push rod, pinch the thread, start wrapping. Okay, continuing to wrap. And once we get it where we want it, we just simply soak it with CA. And then trim our excess threads. And what you'll see is a very secure joint that will never come off in a million years. And we're going to do the front one just the same. Center the servo, tack the Z-bend on the push rod, wrap it, CA it, you're all done. Well, I've put on the rudder Z-bend, tied it and CA'd it. The job is actually complete. There are a couple of things that I would like to mention in closing. And that is, for your servo horns, your output horns, you're gonna want no more than 1 centimeter between the center of the servo horn and the hole that you're going to want to select. It's approximately 10 millimeters or 1 centimeter. It doesn't seem like a lot, but because your horns are hooked up in at the same spacing in back, you wind up with just the right amount of throw. So shoot for about 1 centimeter right here on both of them. One last admonishment: remember to always be careful with that push rod. That push rod is very critical. It's very durable and tough. It'll last the life of the aircraft, but be very careful that you don't break it in handling. In flight and operation, you'll never be able to break it. And that pretty much concludes the servo installation in the fuselage. Thank you.